this community. Celebrate with joy. Celebrate the love we share. Celebrate peace and harmony. Celebrate with joy. Celebrate the love we share. Celebrate our unity. Celebrate with joy. Celebrate the love we share. Celebrate peace and harmony. Celebrate with joy. Celebrate the love we share. Celebrate our unity. Celebrate our unity. Celebrate our unity.
Welcome to Unity Comox Valley. Welcome to a place where you are appreciated exactly as you are, where you are seen for the divine perfection you are. Unity is a place many call home, a spiritual home, a sacred, safe environment to explore your divine nature and all aspects of spirituality. It is so important for us to take care of ourselves in these times. We are all in a new situation, and that means we need time and space to adjust. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others as we navigate these waters together. Let's take a moment to bring ourselves into the now moment with prayer. We acknowledge that we are in the presence of the divine, all that is good and sacred. We acknowledge that we each have this same divine identity, and in that way, we truly are one. We take time regularly to bring ourselves back to that truth as we meet each day and each situation. We are grateful for the many expressions of spirit, and we stay alert to the many opportunities to see them. For this, we give thanks. Amen. This week, I have invited a special guest speaker, Judy Murakami, to provide the talk for our celebration service. Judy is a longtime member of Unity and also a licensed Unity teacher. She has recently been teaching online courses for Unity Canada and really enjoys connecting with students from all across Canada.
Heaven is open to you. Find a way to open your heart. You're so much more than you do.
past few months have been not only unprecedented, but they've been at times trying, to say the least. I think the saving grace has been the mantra we've all been living with. We are all in this together. I've had to look beyond appearances, especially mine, and not make judgments. One night I wanted to go to the store. I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, you can't go out looking like that. You have to do something with your hair. I even Googled how to cut your own hair. Luckily, the writer wisely said, we're all in this together. No one will be looking at your hair. So off I went, and no one looked at my hair, and I certainly didn't look at anyone else's either. Today's lesson is how your healing and wholeness can be someone else's blessing. Although you're seeing this on July the 4th, Reverend Vicky had asked that my talk be submitted in mid-June. I didn't have the daily word for July, but guess what it says for June the 10th? I remember the truth of my spiritual identity and celebrate my wholeness. I've been teaching healing and wholeness via Zoom, and it's been a steep learning curve with this technology. I was very proud of the PowerPoint presentation I had created, and I assumed because I could see it, everyone else could too. Well, guess what? I learned that until I pressed the share button, that no one else could see it but me. Ironically, that often happens when I'm communicating. I may think something, but until I actually share it, the other person doesn't know what I'm thinking or talking about. When we think of healing, we usually think of a physical disease or illness. In 1845, when Myrtle was born, there wasn't a lot of physical healing as there were no anesthetics, no antiseptics, and no vaccinations until the late 1890s. I'm amazed people lived as long as they did. Tuberculosis was very prevalent and was called the White Plague, affecting 1 in every 7 people. No one knew what caused it, and Myrtle endured it for 40 years. In her book, Healing Letters, which is a compilation of her letters, she writes, I was once an emaciated little woman upon whom relatives and doctors had placed the stamp TB. Medicine doctors ceased to give me relief, and I was in despair. We were a sickly lot and came to the place where we were unable to provide for our children. Charles Fillmore wrote in the Revealing Word, all healing is based on mental cleansing. When the mind is free from error thoughts, healing is never accomplished until the mental cause of the disease, the error thought, is removed. If we look at Myrtle Fillmore, she had to remove the thought that she was going to die from tuberculosis, and she didn't discover this until she was 40 years old. She had been raised in a Methodist family, but didn't believe in a punishing God, so she had turned her back on that religion. Myrtle was ahead of her time in every area. She went to college and became a teacher with a salary of $10 a month. Most women were married by the time they were 22, but Myrtle wed at age 36 to a man 9 years her junior. Doctors today call pregnant women over 35 geriatric. Myrtle must have been considered ancient as she bore sons at 37, 39, and 44. She had no interest in cooking or cleaning, so Charles' mother prepared the meals. They didn't even have a kitchen in their house. And at Unity Village, I've been to their house, and it's now the clubhouse for the golf course. Myrtle worked with Charles in the publishing business and created a children's magazine called Wee Wisdom. The average lifespan at that time was 62 years for women. Myrtle lived to 86. I'd like you to think back, how old were you when you discovered Unity? I was 40 when I was invited to a Unity service in Victoria. Just like Myrtle, I had to unlearn old beliefs to make way for the new. Although Myrtle was an educated person, the New Thought classes taught by Dr. E.B. Weeks were revolutionary for their time, as that's where Myrtle first heard the words, I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit illness. I'd like to share a poem with you by Portia Nelson called There's a Hole in My Sidewalk. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I still don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. It isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it's there. I still fall in. It's habit. It's my fault. I know where I am. I get out immediately. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. And lastly, I walk down a different street. I had mentioned in one of my talks that I was letting someone drive me crazy. It got to the point where Dale said I was getting to be so negative, and I was. I was spending so much time grumbling about that person that even when she hadn't emailed me, I was imagining what she would complain about in her next email. How's that for giving someone else power over me? So I had to practice what I preach. Anytime I started thinking negative thoughts, I had to stop, deny any power over my well-being, and affirm that I was happy, prosperous, and grateful for my life. The elder tells his grandson, "A fight is going on inside me. It's a terrible fight between two wolves. One is evil. He is anger, regret, guilt, lies, sorrow, and ego. The other is good. He is generosity, truth, compassion, joy, and faith. The same fight is going on inside you and every other person." The grandson asks, "Which wolf will win?" And you know the answer, the one you feed. So what do thoughts have to do with healing and wholeness? Every time you let yourself get angry, whether it's the insanity reported on the news or the driver who honks at you, or the comment your brother-in-law made, your body reacts by producing adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart beats faster and your breathing becomes shallower. Is this a good thing? No. What about when you quiet your mind, breathe, and you allow yourself to connect with the divine? You're relaxed, open, and you're experiencing scientifically proven benefits. You reduce stress, which leads to a better sleep, lowered blood pressure, and reduced inflammation. You feel good, and you have a positive outlook on life. You can make better decisions, and you're able to problem solve. You're able to focus longer, and you concentrate on tasks without worrying. Your thoughts and your feelings become kinder and gentler not only to yourself, but to others as well. You're better able to increase your willpower, control your emotions, and better understand your impulses. You can help control pain. One friend of mine was able to monitor breathing and not use any anesthetic during a dental procedure. You can do this anywhere, at any time, without disturbing others. You don't need specialized equipment or any purchases. I'm sure Myrtle was a lovely person for the first 40 years of her life, but she was truly a blessing for the last 46. Not only was she willing to share her knowledge and experience about healing and wholeness, but she walked her talk. She was a firm believer in doing the work and wanted others to do the same. If people wrote asking for prayers, she would send them a bulletin and remind them they needed to be willing and receptive to the Holy Spirit. So how did Myrtle achieve healing and wholeness? She started to love her body and to bless it for its abilities. Gratitude is being thankful not only for what you have received, but for what you are about to receive, even if it is not yet materialized. When you're grateful, you are accepting the gift of faith. If you start sneezing, do you immediately think, "I'm getting a cold, I'm getting sick"? No, that means you will. However, if you start singing, "Every little cell in my body is healthy, every little cell in my body is well," well, your cells will react and they will get well. That's actually true because I was in the middle of a curling bonspiel. I started to sneeze, my nose started to run. I went home, started singing, and had a hot bath, and the next day, I was good and healthy. Myrtle and Charles lived a healthy lifestyle in terms of diet, rest, exercise, and low stress. They had lots of fresh produce from the Unity Farm. I can attest that when I'm at Unity Village, I become very relaxed and healthy as I walk the labyrinth. I spend time in nature, I meditate, and I enjoy the fellowship of fellow learners. Joseph Telushkin, in a code of Jewish ethics, stated, "The best way for us to emulate God is to become a blessing in other people's lives." Myrtle Fillmore was able to not only heal herself, but she became a blessing to others with her healing and wholeness. I'm eternally grateful to Myrtle and Charles for discovering their oneness with divine wholeness. I'd like to close with a quote from Mary Davis I found on Facebook. "Bring love wherever you go, shine light wherever it's dark, leave blessings whenever you've been."
In the stillness of the moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of the moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest, trust, breathe, and know that in the stillness of the moment there is peace. In the stillness of the moment there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of the moment there is peace. There is peace. And I rest, trust, breathe, and know that in the stillness of the moment there is peace.
Let us join together in this field of meditation. Gently allow your eyes to close as you open now into the inner world. Allow the body to become heavy as it relaxes downward. Feel the pull of gravity and relax the whole body. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest and to the breath as it arises and falls. Take a deep breath into your heart area and a long, slow breath out. And again, a deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. Allow your awareness to shift out of its rational, conceptual thinking mode of perception and into this present moment. Now, continuing to breathe, open your awareness to the mystery of this here and now moment. Immerse yourself in the overall felt sense of the moment, this holy moment, with the breath as your friend and your guide. Allow yourself to surrender to the moment, just as it is. End recording. Recording 2. Imagine a source of light filling you and expanding throughout your entire being, through your organs and cell tissue and into the subtle pathways of your inner body, all becoming filled with the light of love and healing. Sink into this open, creative place of unknowing and allow an image to arise, an image which represents healing to you, or awakening, or union with God, or with the divinity that you are. Any image that evokes comfort, protection, nurturing, and holding. This image may be something you see with your inner sight, or a sound, or a melody, or just an overall felt sense that you are in the presence of something sacred, something holy. It could just be a sense of warmth and presence, an immense silence, or an inner intuitive knowing. Pause. Rest in this presence and allow yourself to enter into communion with it, resting in a state of open receptivity. And listen, feel, sense. Allow yourself to rest deeply in this spacious atmosphere of presence, listening, feeling, sensing, opening. End recording. Recording 3. Share with this inner presence the intention that you have at this moment in your life to take care of yourself in a new way, to enter into the mystery, to attune to the wisdom of your heart that has been trying to reach you, to listen to the divine self within you and what it is that this divine self within wants in this life. I am the divine self. Repeat these words to yourself. I am the divine self. End recording. Recording 4. Bring your awareness back to the rise and fall of your breath, to your embodied presence on this earth, breathing slowly and deeply. I invite you now to bring to mind any person or situation to include in this time of prayerful meditation. Let your healing love and peace, empowered by your intention, flow out to them with comfort and loving embrace. A short pause. Thank you for being here today, bringing the divine power of your presence, your love, and your compassion for all to grow in love and to participate in healing the world. Please join me in the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is and all is well.
All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. All is well, life is good. We are truly blessed. We are truly blessed. We are truly
Thank you, Judy, for the talk, and Donnie Wilson for our prayer and meditation. Please stay connected. On the website, you will see previous celebration services under the Watch tab and many meditations under the Listen tab. Phone us, send us an email. We appreciate and act on your comments and feedback. Remember that you are a blessing wherever you are, and that together we are having a positive impact on the world. We'll close with the peace song. I'll see you next week.
Praise my life, I raise my life in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise the world, I raise the world in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I raise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my neighbor, I raise my neighbor in the name of love. I praise my sister, I raise my sister in the name of love. I praise my sister, I raise my sister in the name of love. I praise my brother, I raise my brother in the name of love. I praise my brother, I raise my brother in the name of love. I praise my family, I raise my family in the name of love. I praise my family, I raise my family in the name of love. I praise the children, I raise the children in the name of love. I praise the children, I raise the children in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise my life, I raise my life in the name of love. I praise my life, I raise my life in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love. I praise myself, I raise myself in the name of love.